Hello and welcome to part 29 of my Hogwarts MOC series. Today we're going to be following on from the last part where we took a look at the long gallery build, and we're going to be making a start on the interior of the Defence Against the Dark Arts classroom, which takes up most of it. Now we're just making a start today because I have only got the pieces for a couple of bits of furniture, but they are some of the major ones. So we'll take a look at how those went together and then we'll put them into the room, and then next time we will hopefully just do a part 2 of this, try and keep it to just 2 installments where we finish off the scene and add in the rest of the details. So the 2 things that I've got built so far are a gramophone, as every good Defence Against the Dark Arts class needs a great soundtrack, according to Professor Lupin at least. And then obviously, if we're going to be having a boggart to fight, which is the scene I'm going for, we're going to need a wardrobe for it to hide in. So those are my 2 builds, and I think we will make a start with the gramophone. So here are all the parts that you're going to need in order to make the gramophone. These parts on the left here make the actual gramophone itself, and over here these parts make the table. I modelled this fairly closely on the one from the scene, although obviously I've taken a little bit of license as you don't get a particularly good view at it. I've also taken inspiration from the gramophone build that came with the last Harry Potter Advent calendar, although that was based on a different scene from Goblet of Fire, so I've made a few alterations so that it fits this scene a little bit better. So, just to go through the parts that you're going to need a 3x3 black inverted dish, a 2x2 round tile with a hole through the middle, a black lever or aerial piece, a black fez, a pearl gold tap piece, a pearl gold 1x1 round plate or 1x1 stud, a modified gold tile with a clip on top, a 2x3 reddish brown plate, and 2 of these modified bricks with the scroll design on the side. So it's a very simple build using pretty common pieces. First of all, we will make the little table, and that just involves putting these under here. Obviously, it only has support at the back, but once this is on a studded surface, it stands up absolutely fine. And then to make the actual gramophone, we're going to pop this on here, and this represents the record. I might in the future replace this with a stickered or printed tile with a record pattern on the top, but this does absolutely fine for now. This is one of the details I took straight from that one from the Advent calendar. Then we're going to use the aerial as the stylus, or the needle, whatever you want to call it. I'm not completely au fait with my gramophone terms, so that goes there at an angle. And then on that remaining stud, we are going to put the 1x1 plate. And then on top of that, we're going to add this tile with clip. And then into that tile with clip, we are going to put this tap. Now you need to put the very end of it in there. So it's the non-studded end goes in there. And you've got to make sure it's all the way out so that this bit with the stud doesn't interfere with the base of that piece and cause it to be not clipped in properly. I've actually put this at the wrong orientation, so it needs to go around like that and then turn down slightly. And then into the end of that, you can attach the black fez. And then into the end of that, you can attach the 3x3 dish. And then we can get everything lined up properly so it's not touching. And there we go. We have the gramophone with its large, not sure if it's called a horn or a bell, the bit that makes the sound louder anyway. And I think overall that's a nice little design. It doesn't take up too much space, and I think it suits the scene very, very well. And there we can see it already stands up. Okay, let's move on to the slightly bigger build, which is the wardrobe. So these are all the parts you need for the wardrobe. As you can see, there are quite a lot more here. Before I go into building it and describing all the pieces, make sure you get the right ones if you want to build this. I'll just talk a tiny bit about my design for this. Now, when I was trying to create a wardrobe, I wanted to make sure that it was the right size, both in terms of the room and for the characters. Obviously, minifigure scale is a bit of a weird concept because minifigures have got bizarre proportions, but I wanted to make sure it looked okay. My other concern was that I've got a sort of gallery running along my, my long gallery, which means that I'm limited in terms of the height. So I originally tried using a standard Lego doorway, which I think are 1x4x6, and this was just short enough to fit under the gallery, but every time I tried adding something to the top or the bottom of it, it became too tall. So unfortunately, I've had to do without the opening door for the wardrobe, but considering this is going to be a static scene and I'm already going to have Boggart Snape outside, transformed by Neville, I thought it didn't really matter if the wardrobe door was closed. So I've gone for this alternate design. I haven't used mirrored pieces or mirrored stickers. I've actually just gone for light bluish grey, which is a precedent that was set by the bathroom in my central tower extension, the Trolls bathroom, where I've used 2x2 light bluish grey tiles for mirrors there. I may in the future try and find some mirrored stickers or, the offcuts of a sticker sheet that's already mirrored and add them, but I think I'm okay with it being light bluish grey for now. So I'll just quickly run through the pieces that you need. So there's quite a few of them, and a lot of them are reddish brown. So what I will do is I'll do all of those and just won't say the colour. Assume it's reddish brown if I don't say anything else. So we've got 2 2x6 plates, 8 2x2 curved slopes, 2 1x2 jumper plates, 1 1x4 tile, 1 2 3 4 2x2 plates, 2 1x3 plates, 2 1x2 plates, 2 1x2 modified curved plates with the hollow studs, 3 1x2 upwards facing brackets, 3 1x1 upwards facing brackets, 2 1x1 bricks, 4 1x1 bricks with the stud on the side, 1 1x3 brick, and 1 1x3 jumper plate with 2 studs. And then in light bluish grey, we have got 1 2x6 plate, 1 2x6 tile. This is still a relatively new piece to me, so it was actually quite interesting to get one. 1 1x6 plate, 2 1x2 tiles, 1 1x2 jumper plate, and then a single stud or 1x1 round plate in pearl gold. And those are all the pieces that you're going to need. Now, because this is such a big build, I'm going to do it in sections, so we will get ready to do that and start with the feet. To create the feet, you're going to need these pieces just here. I won't go through them again. Now, because I like to make things difficult for myself, I've actually constructed this with lots of snot building, so studs not on top. And this has meant that the central core, despite the overall thing looking roughly 4 studs wide, the overall core is 3 studs wide. So that means we're going to have to start off going from even to odd and then eventually going back to even again. And so we'll start off with this 2x2 plate here, and we'll place a single tile on top there. And then on either side, we'll put one of these. These are just acting as the feet. I did want to use 1x1 plates, but I needed these to actually connect the thing together. And then on top of that, we're going to put these jumper plates. Just get that angled in. And there we have our base. And I will pop that over here, and we can move on with the next bit. That's going to be the main structure of the wardrobe itself and is going to use the majority of the pieces. This is going to have studs facing in almost every direction, so you can see I'm using these brackets and these modified bricks here. To begin with, we're going to take a couple of these brackets of different sizes and put them there and connect them together with a 1x3 plate. And then we're going to take 2 of these modified bricks, just get rid of the hair that's on the table, one there and one on the opposite side. These are going to help connect the sides of the wardrobe, and then in the middle just a plain brick. It's just to keep things nice and simple from around the back. And then on top of that, we're going to put another set of brackets of 2 different sizes. There we go, and another plate. So we're actually just repeating what we've just done. Also keep these at the correct spacing to hold the sides on. And then we are going to add another layer of brackets. So it's fairly simple up to there. This is where it changes slightly. We're going to actually put this 1x3 brick on top. And then on top of that, we're going to put this jumper plate with the 2 studs on. So you can see it's looking quite strange with the studs facing in almost every direction. And then this is actually going to be placed onto these jumpers so it sits in the middle just there, ready to have the rest of the build added to it. The next parts we're going to build are actually symmetrical, and I'm going to build one of them and then just build the other one off camera, and that is going to be the sides of the wardrobe. They've got this nice sort of flowing curved shape on either side, so we're going to use curved slopes for that. Start off with a 2x6, can't count, 2x6 plate, add another plate there and a 1x2 up at the top. And then we basically fill in the gaps left over by that with curved slopes. It's actually quite simple. So you create this sort of shape, and we will then do another one exactly the same. And then these can be attached to the sides of the main build. So if I've done everything correctly, this should line up perfectly. So you attach it like that, so it's flush along the back and flush along the front. And then this side bit, it's got a tiny little overlap there, which is actually perfect, or overlap, I should say, it extends slightly more. And there you can see it's really coming together and it's creating that shape again. Now we're going to need to add a door to it, and here are the pieces for the door, as I said before. So what we'll do is we'll construct it in situ, so that involves placing this piece here. It doesn't really matter which side you put it on. I like to put it on this side just because then it overlaps with the tile in front. So then this goes here, and then this means the tile can go on this side, so it's just a little bit more structural integrity. There we go. And then this side is going to have the doorknob on it, so we'll put this jumper plate in the middle, and a tile up here, and a tile down here, if I can pick it up. And then finally, the doorknob is this gold plate there. So there we go. Like I mentioned, obviously, door doesn't open, but I really like the fact that it sits flush here, and I think it looks really good overall. So just one final bit to go. In fact, just 3 pieces. This is just going to finish it off. See, nice and strong, knocked it over and nothing happened. So this is just another couple of those curved slopes. One here, and that's why I've now put this jumper on top, because we've gone from even to odd for the main construction, and now we're going back to even again, which means that this goes on the top, neatly lines up on either side there, and we've got our finished wardrobe shape. And I think that and the gramophone are now looking really, really good. Time to put them into the building. So here's the long gallery, pretty much as we left it last time. What we're going to do is place these couple of bits of furniture in so we can make a start on how it looks overall. So I think I'll just pop this here for now. Positioning may change depending on how I put everything else. Obviously this is slightly fragile, unfortunately, so you can see the horn has just come off, but I should be able to fix it back on. Yeah, there we go. There's the gramophone in place. It's not the best lighting, but there we go. You can see it now. And the wardrobe has cleverly been placed, or will be cleverly placed, to do a similar job to this little desk here, i.e. it's going to help hold the 2 main 16 by 16 plates together. So I've designed it so it fits nicely underneath there. And if we just leave a couple of, or a stud gap rather, a couple of studs actually, and just secure it in there. And there we go. It looks really good if it'll focus on it. So you can imagine I'll set the scene up here with Lupin and Boggart Snape and Neville and then all the rest of the class around here. And yeah, I think it'll look really, really nice. Obviously, there are some other details I want to include, stuff along the back there, something tucked down just there, maybe a bookcase. And there's also something else missing, which is going to go just about here. In fact, I'll give you a sneak peek of what that's, of how I'm progressing on that so far. So yeah, this is what I've done so far. You might recognise it as the dragon skeleton that the Cornish pixies knocked down. This is my first attempts at building it. There's the head. Obviously, you need to get these other parts in white, but that is something I'm definitely going to be able to do in the future. So there we go. That is the start of my Defence Against the Dark Arts classroom. You might just be able to spy something going on in there as well. And that is in fact Lockhart's office, which I will be showing in probably the next Hogwarts update. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed my content, then please subscribe to the channel for more. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up down below. And if you comment, I will try my very best to get back to you. Thank you very much. And until next time, have a good one. Bye.